Here at Spectrum Health, we're working closely with our resident programs in internal medicine and pediatrics, as well as family medicine, to help them learn more about the direct link between food and health.
Blending the art of cooking with the science of medicine is very important because there's a lot of good research out there on the impact of healthy nutrition or better nutrition on health outcomes. But many healthcare providers have no idea how to work with that science of nutrition and actually translate it into healthy eating behaviors.
Students learn the nutritional science. They learn how to create healthy recipes, and they learn culinary skills. And when you combine the three, they can really translate that into their home
meal from scratch at home. They then can turn around and bring that to the patients and empower the patients to do the same.
When patients hear me talk more candidly about diet and nutrition,
we are seeing and treating diet-related disease and really need to find an innovative approach as to how we talk to patients about food and its direct link on their overall health.
When we bring a medical student into the kitchen, what we show them is can use not only at home, but by teaching. Fresh
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. So this is a postponed webinar and supposedly should run last week, but unfortunately there was a conflict with the schedule, also with culinary medicine. So this is a recorded webinars for the purpose of those who will not be able to join us this afternoon. So to some of you who were not able to visit our website yet, if this is your first time to join culinary medicine, you can go ahead and check our website. And so you can be updated on the upcoming webinars. So the supposed July 21st webinar, this is what we're going to do now. So we'll be talking about Jumpstart program. And then the next session will be August 4 and then August 25. So I hope to see you again. So we will be talking about dissolving kidney stones and then preventing gallbladder stones. So to those of you who are enrolled in the professional culinary medicine specialist program, so this will count for your webinar requirement. Okay, so if you're not into culinary medicine program yet, you may check out this recent post in our social media in Facebook and also in our website if you wanted to avail the workshop bundle. So that includes the professional culinary medicine course, inclusive of 4-day in-person workshop. So again, to those of you who just joined this webinar, culinary medicine is a combination of the science of medicine, cooking skills, and behavior change. And what we wanted to achieve here is for patients and healthcare providers to develop clinical skills for optimal health management. So for this afternoon, this is a very quick webinar. We will try to review the evidence related to Jumpstart diet programs. And then we'll also describe the component of a Jumpstart diet program. I'm not sure if you've heard about the Jumpstart diet already. So anyone here? You may see the hands of those who are familiar with Jumpstart. Have you been to any lifestyle medicine intervention already? Because if you've been to a lifestyle medicine program or you've enrolled yourself to an intensive therapeutic lifestyle change program, then probably you're familiar with the Jumpstart diet because that's one of those components that's utilized, in lifestyle programs. So that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon. So if you have time, you can go back to this literature and review this original research. So this is an article talking about Jumpstart program, which is 15 days whole food plant-based program. So in this program, usually this is designed to prepare patients physically and mentally to experience the benefits of improved health. So this program is actually integral to any intensive therapeutic lifestyle change. And this is recommended to anyone who needs to have a lifestyle makeover. So that means you know that you're doing pretty bad in terms of health practices, in terms of your diet, then the Jumpstart program is really good for you. And even though considerable testing has shown this plan to be very sensible, prudent, and actually sage approach, and people with significant health problems, such as those with diabetes, hypertension, or overweight, or even patients with cancer, and other chronic diseases should check, on how a Jumpstart program is conducted. So this is also what we do with Lifestyle Redo. So if you're enrolled in a culinary medicine program, I believe you have a free program to experience Lifestyle Redo. So that should include a Jumpstart program as well. So if you look at this, I will give you examples, of Jumpstart programs that's implemented by different lifestyle medicine intervention program. So this is the Jumpstart program for CHIP, or the Complete Health Improvement Program. So what they do is just 5 days Jumpstart. So like I said earlier, different lifestyle programs may have different approach as well. So for CHIP, or Complete Health Improvement Program, they do have 5 days of Jumpstart challenge. So that means during during day 1 and 2, they only ask patients to eat only fruits and whole grains. For day 3 to 5, you can add vegetables and legumes. And then after day 5, but throughout day 5, you're not supposed to take any sugars, honey, or molasses, etc. And then they advise you to gradually decrease your caffeinated beverages, quit alcohol and fruit juices or sugary beverages, including soda and soft drinks. And they also wanted you to omit processed fats. And also that means for the entire 5 days, no oils, no sauteed, no fried foods, no butter, and no oil dressing. So basically for 5 days, no oil at all. And they also wanted you to avoid processed foods and fast foods, and then leave animal food. So this is the composition of the 5-day Jumpstart for CHIP, or Complete Health Improvement Program. Now there's also a Jumpstart program under Ornish. Ornish. So Dr. Ornish, sorry. Let me go back. Can someone tell me if you can hear me, or am I out?
We can hear you, po.
Okay, great. Thank you. So Dr. Dean Ornish is also one of those doctors who were the first to establish by evidence that they can reverse heart disease. That means they can reopen the blood vessels again. And they have lifestyle programs too, no? They have intensive therapeutic lifestyle change programs. And most of those programs are composed of dietary intervention. It is a big element, napakalaking factor, yung nutrition. So the Ornish nutrition element is high in good carbohydrates, in good fats, and in good proteins. And then very low in bad carbohydrates, meaning the processed foods, bad fats, and of course, bad proteins. So the Ornish program is actually subsidized by the Medicare. So that means if you have heart disease and you needed bypass operation, or after bypass operation, you can actually undergo the Ornish program. And this is implemented in many different institutions for the United States. So it's good, no, na meron sa US. In the Philippines, there's no program that's subsidized by PhilHealth yet. That's what we're working with, lifestyle intervention. Somehow in the future, hopefully there will be reimbursements for lifestyle programs that we will offer to patients. But this is just one example of the programs that are reimbursed, by Medicare. So when it's reimbursed, that means they were able to prove that the program is working. And the Ornish program also composed of a Jumpstart diet. Okay. So another program I want to share here is, sorry, there should be another one. The Esselstyn's program. So I'm not sure what happened to the slide, but there's another one, which is the Ornish's the Esselstyn's program. So if you have time, you can search in the internet, look for Esselstyn's heart disease program. So Esselstyn is more what do you call this? More conservative in terms of the Jumpstart program, because he really do not allow even nuts and avocado, because he wanted to decrease consumption of calories from fats to as low as 11 to 15%. So this is really a very low fat diet. So even with plant-based fats, he wanted to decrease it. So basically, he is doing that program because on that research, or on that literature, published literature, he's working with the Walking Dead. That's what he called his patients, the subjects in the research, that he did. So they're called the Walking Dead because these patients are actually not cleared for bypass operation, not cleared for stent insertion for some medical reasons. That's why they were enrolled into an intensive therapeutic lifestyle change program. And fortunately, all of those patients enrolled in that program, they lived with better quality of life compared to those patients who had bypass operation but did not change their lifestyle. So they were able to reopen the blood vessels again to as much as 30%, but the time frame really matters. So there were blood vessels that were reopened after 12 months of the intensive phase. So this is not only 7 days Jumpstart, so it became the new lifestyle for these patients, right? So that hindi kasi ibig sabihin na nag-Jumpstart ka, after the Jumpstart, you can go back to the same diet again, right? So it can be your new lifestyle already, like what happened to, like what's implemented in Esselstyn's program. So in the patients that he had, so these patients were given the Jumpstart program and it was sustained, after a year, they were able to do the angiogram again. And then they were able to establish that about 30% of the occluded blood vessel in the heart were reopened after 12 months. So this is with or without the help of statins, because they wanted to reach the cholesterol level at below 150 or 3.8, and they want the LDL cholesterol below 70. So because evidence show that at that level, there's no progression of the plaques, there's no progression of heart disease for short. So that's the goal. So that's the reason why we do the Jumpstart program. In the Philippines, we do have the Lifestyle Redo program. So if you are enrolled or currently a trainee under Lifestyle Medicine or the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine, I'm sure you're familiar with Lifestyle Redo program, because this is what you're actually supposed to implement with your patient, right? So we have the 15-day Jumpstart challenge. So this is when you enroll your patient to an intensive therapeutic lifestyle change, because during lifestyle medicine training, what we give you is the free 2 weeks program. So that means you're free to do that, to implement that for your patient. But the intensive therapeutic lifestyle change or the Jumpstart challenge, we highly recommend this for those who are diplomates or specialists in lifestyle medicine already, because you have to know the measures, you have to know the metrics. What we do, how do you monitor patients with diabetes? Say this is a remission program you want to do for your patient, no? So ano yung gagawin mo? What are the measures that you needed to know when you put them on a Jumpstart program? So basically for Lifestyle Redo, the first 7 days, we usually have this typical breakfast. So we usually allow them to take any salad or any soup and then a fiber drink. So basically this is what we call the negative calorie preloading. So we wanted patients to be loaded with with low calorie diet. So when you say salad and when you say soup and then fiber drinks, these are negative calorie preloading servings, right? So when we say negative calorie preloading, that means the exertion, the energy that you utilize when you wake up in the morning and then after breakfast, just before you eat the lunch, you will be deficit in terms of calories. Meaning yung calorie na tinake mo from the salad, from the soup, and then the fiber may not be even enough for the calories you're gonna burn after eating breakfast and just before you eat the lunch, resulting to a negative calorie balance or negative energy balance. So that means we do this for weight loss program. So there's another approach if we wanted, if we do not need calorie restriction. So let's say if this patient is a cancer patient who cannot really take food, for example, they're throwing up because they're under chemotherapy, or there are also patients who are undernourished. We needed to give them more nutrients or calorie, ibang approach yon. So usually for 15 days, Jumpstart challenge. This is what we give for patients with heart disease, patients with obesity or overweight, mga patients with diabetes and then hypertension. This is what we do. And then typically for lunch, we allow patients to take brown rice, vegetables, and then legumes. And then for dinner, we give again the salad, the soup, and then the fiber drink. So there's variation in terms of the servings of the salad. We teach them on how to prepare them. And we teach them, more importantly, the dressings they use during the day 1 to 7. So as discussed earlier, it's the same thing with the CHIP program, with the Ornish program, with the Esselstyn's program. We're very, very careful with the fat content that we add in the ingredients of patients who are into a Jumpstart program. So just like CHIP, just like Ornish program, we literally do not allow oil consumption in the next 15 days because we wanted to have a very low fat calorie diet, for patients during Jumpstart program, specifically for patients who are suffering from hyperlipidemia, and patients with impaired glucose, what do you call this? For patients with pre-diabetes and patients with diabetes type 2, okay? And even patients with hypertension. So basically that's the component. And then throughout all 15 days, we also wanted to break addictions. We also wanted to get rid of meat. So you may ask, during the 15 days Jumpstart, hindi ba talaga kumakain ng meat yung patients? The answer is yes. So it's really during the Jumpstart challenge that we let the patient experience the impact of a jumpstart, of a lifestyle or intensive therapeutic lifestyle change, right? So parang the body of the patient tends to adjust in that very short period of time so that they experience the impact or the positive impact in implementing a Jumpstart program. But more than that, there are a lot of benefits, for a Jumpstart program. Initially, improves intestinal function. Now, the high fiber content of the food absorbs water in the intestinal tract, of course, turning insoluble fiber into a gel-like substance that resembles a soft and spongy mass. So this fiber stimulates intestinal activity, and then, of course, it sweeps along intestinal contents more efficiently and effectively. So that's why during the Jumpstart program, you will lose a lot of weight initially. Pero it's not literally the fat loss that you're having. This is mostly fecal matters na dapat nilalabas mo. So for excretion purposes, because of that high fiber diet, and because this is a low salt diet as well, the water retention is being reduced, no? And so most of the weight that you actually lose for the first 2 weeks in the Jumpstart program are those that you kept in your colon. So those are supposed to be food, what do you call this? The fecal matters that should be removed or excreted from the colon, and then of course your water retention. Now and I mentioned already the decrease in fluid retention because it removes excess water, salt, and other toxins from the body through the kidneys and of course through your intestinal tracts. And another important benefit here is it will help you break your food addiction. So this is where patients who are really used to drink caffeinated beverages, we ask them to take a little of those caffeine, paunti-unti, so that they can somehow break, those addictions. And then sweetened beverages, sugary food, sugary beverages are included in that as well. And it also improves your appetite and it intensifies your taste perception. So it will also help you discover and enjoy new flavors of simple foods. You will notice during the 15 days Jumpstart program, because this is low salt, low fat, low sugar diet. So basically, after the Jumpstart, patients usually ask us, bakit pag kumain sila ulit ng pagkain in their house, it's either too salty or too oily, too greasy, or too sweet already? Because after 2 weeks, your taste buds, they change, they adapt to whatever food that you are feeding yourself, right? So by then, it's good to maintain it already, no? Mas magandang i-maintain mo na siya. So it renews energy and improves your mental acuity. This is where you will observe the clouding, parang forgetfulness, you'll be more alert. And this usually begins day and day 4. So this is where your energy levels and the sense of well-being substantially increase, because during the first 2 days, of course, you will start adjusting. But don't worry, around day 3 and day 4, especially those who are really addicted to caffeine, the withdrawal symptoms can be there in the next 3 days. So again, after day 3, you will basically improve. And of course, it also conquers fear, since many people in weight loss programs fear food deprivation and hunger, right? So during the Jumpstart Challenge, this will help you handle these feelings and of course overcome this fear. And you have a lot of assumptions when you enter into a lifestyle intervention program. So this is where, during the Jumpstart, this is where we let you experience the benefits. And of course, another important function is it eliminates the body odors. It eliminates unwanted body odors like halitosis. It diminishes over time. Of course, if the halitosis is basically caused by the microbiome, it should be the bacteria in your intestine. If it's dental caries, and of course, hindi siya mariresolve. But if it comes from the digestive system, then of course that can be resolved. And during the Jumpstart program, this is also where the microbiome starts changing. So the composition of the bacteria in the intestines are changing. The good bacteria are higher this time. Remember, you have good amounts of fiber, so tuwang-tuwa yung microbiome natin, the good bacteria, because they have a lot of food to eat. So somehow the colony inside the colon is changing, no? And what's happening is it changes the digestive system. It changes your defecation schedule. So, and then it changes also the consistency of the stool. And of course, when you fart, you're not gonna be ashamed because it doesn't smell anything anymore, right? Because there's a good change inside the colon that's happening. There's more good bacteria than the bad bacteria that we usually get from animal-based products or from ultra-processed foods. And of course, it provides a taste of success, because when you are in a Jumpstart, that's some kind of discipline that you have in yourself, that when you finish day 2, another achievement for day 3, another achievement for day 4. And that's what we wanted to have, a good mindset, no? Mindset that I'm achieving something, I'm actually working on a certain level of discipline for myself, instead of thinking like, oh, kawawa naman ako, I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that, right? So we wanted, of course, to have that sense of success. So you experience the joy that comes from experimenting with the new foods and the new health promoting activities that you are embarking on. And of course, more importantly, it reduces your food budget because you're eating less, right? So this is this new simple way of eating can, of course, reduce your weekly food cost. So it's giving you the positive health benefits while reducing your household cost for your food. And lastly, Jumpstart. This will jumpstart you into a healthier lifestyle, into a healthier a healthier you. So it begins the establishment of a new way of life and puts you back in control. So again, like I mentioned earlier, the Jumpstart program is really good, for anyone who have been into a faulty diet. Let's say for the entire week, you know that this is all faulty lifestyle, been sedentary, been eating anything I want. So halos puro meat, I've been taking this for like a month or 2, then maybe it's time for you to jumpstart. Question is how often you can do the jumpstart? The answer would be you can do this as often as every month, or you can do every quarter, if you're not into a healthy lifestyle yet. But during the Jumpstart program, it will give you the somehow you will feel there's restriction. That's why you have to prepare for the Jumpstart. If you can do this like every quarter, so that means that's 4 times in a year, then that can only do you good, and give you positive impacts. Of course, I wanted to make sure that you know that there are withdrawal symptoms as well. So when you say withdrawal symptoms, this is during the Jumpstart that we wanted patients to be aware that there could be symptoms that they will manifest. So we wanted them to increase their water intake, because sometimes there could be headaches, so we want them to drink a lot of water. They can add any taste in the water, anything in the water, so to improve the taste. Like they can add lemon, or like you put some mint in it. So it helps them. It gives them soothing, the soothing effect. So we also ask them to walk briskly outdoors and be more physically active during the Jumpstart program. And we advise patients to always have a good breakfast, so that they're not going to have cravings during lunch and then crave a lot at night. And for headaches, because there are also people who will develop headaches, especially those who are addicted to caffeinated beverages. Of course, during the Jumpstart, they're decreasing their intake of caffeine. Hot foot bath, are actually proven to help. This is where analgesics can also work. If the patient is actively working, baka hindi na makapagtrabaho because of the headache, because of the withdrawal symptoms, specifically from caffeine. Now, there could be diarrhea, but this will usually resolve in few days. If it's troublesome, then you needed to hydrate. Now, diarrhea could be It's not common, but it can happen. And this is because you're taking a lot of fiber. So sometimes patients would report diarrhea, pero hindi naman siya diarrhea. It's just that they're defecating more often than they do. Let's say patients are used to just have 3 or 4 bowel movements every week. This time during the Jumpstart program, they will have bowel movements 1, 2, or 3 times a day, and then they call it diarrhea, right? So usually it settles down after a few days after cleansing your colon, because of course that's what the fiber does. It cleanses the colon, it removes fecal matters that should be excreted. Okay, so again, in Lifestyle Redo, the 15-day program is included there. If you wanted to learn more about that, that's included in the ITLC, intensive phase of the intervention. So that's included in the 12 weeks, intensive therapeutic lifestyle change program in Lifestyle Redo program. So this is where culinary medicine can also come in, because this is where we teach patients, you teach patients on how to prepare their food. Very, very careful with the, what do you call this, with the dressings that we use for the salads during the first 7 days of Jumpstart. Okay. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. This is again a very quick webinar, just 35 minutes of webinar. Thank you for being with us again. So the next schedule will be talking about kidney stone and then gallbladder disease. How do we prevent and how do we dissolve the stones? How do we prevent gallbladder disease? If the patient has gallbladder stones already, what do we do? Or if the patient has had operation already, what can we do to help them as well? All right, so I think we can give 5 or 10 minutes for questions. Yes, maybe you can unmute yourself. There are only a few of you who are in the room. Again, this is a recorded webinar because na-cancel natin last time for some reason. So we promise this will be recorded and this will be sent to the rest of the trainees who are looking forward for this webinar.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually downloaded the book. Is that the book? How do you call that?
Yeah, handbook.
Yeah. I availed of your promo, and so I'm actually reading it now. The question is the life